Scott Smith, the Vice President of Commercial Sales for the Duravent Group, and I am pleased to be joined by Scott Lynch, President of the American Boiler Manufacturers Association. We are here at the beautiful Gaylord Rockies Hotel Convention Center just outside of Denver for this year's ABMA 2024 show. So, Scott, this is our second year doing this, second time that we've been able to do this. So, for all those listening or who aren't able to attend, kind of describe to people what this show is and how much it's grown over the last couple of years.
So this show is for the entire boiler supply chain, and specifically for the boiler supply chain, right? From the manufacturer all the way up to the end user of our product. You know, a lot of our members exhibit at many shows, but it's focused in many different areas. And so the reason why we created this and the reason why our board of directors felt passionate about it was that they didn't want to go to shows where every 20th person is interested in them. They want to go to a show where everybody there cared. It was not as big as some of the other shows, but everybody hears about the boiler industry.
But you mentioned big compared to the first show.
Oh, yeah.
How much has this grown? So our second edition.
So our exhibition has grown by 30%.
Okay.
We had 78 exhibitors at the first show. We have 111 exhibitors at this show, which includes a lot of new members that have joined the organization and really kind of expanding. You know, we have always been known as like the industrial association, right? But now we're branching out beyond that into commercial, into other sectors and other pieces of the supply chain too.
It's funny, you read my mind. I want to talk to you a little bit about the growth of ABMA.
Yes.
As Duravent, this is our 7th full year as a part of the organization, and we've seen it grow tremendously.
Right.
Most recently, the addition of the factory reps.
Yes.
Being brought on board last year. So talk to us a little bit about what drove that decision, and then what we feel like they can bring to ABMA, and then also if I'm a factory rep that's out there watching this, why would I want to join ABMA?
So the rep conversation started with, we want to be influencing the customers and talking to the customers and educating the customers. The only way you can do that, you can't jump over the manufacturer, right? The rep is the one that has that relationship. And we also felt like the relationship between the rep and the manufacturer is something that we can all work together on, right? We can all be partners on that. Okay. And we put it out there. We engaged a group of like 4 or 5 that were interested, but we have 30, this year was our first year of having the rep membership. We have over 30 manufacturer representatives that joined the organization, and we had a representative group that we're calling the Rep Council, where they're gonna kind of be able to create their own activity as well as be a part of us. Okay. And so it's really about the fact of like, we want to engage the whole supply chain in our activities, and the representative is a key component and that cog in the middle.
And it's interesting that they're a key component at a very interesting time in the boiler industry.
Yes, right.
Challenges that we're seeing around the world of natural gas, electrification.
Yes.
Certain governments, taking a look at alternate fuels.
Yep.
What is ABMA doing for its membership and maybe helping educate, promote, what role are you guys playing in that?
I think we got to play a larger role in that, right? And I think that we had a conversation at the Rep Council and at the board meeting about the fact that there's ways to get to, through renewables and other ways, but there's many different ways to get to a point of being more energy efficient, having the energy conservation efforts. And it's not just one solution. And I think as an organization, we have to get out there and make that clear, that there are many solutions here, and it's not just one size fits all approach. And electrification is an option. But if we went electrification all throughout the country, we'd never be able to do it. It wouldn't be able to hold, right? And so there are many other ways there. And we talked about waste heat recovery, and we've talked about all these different, hydrogen is another option, right?
Yep.
And so I think what we need to say is that the boiler industry can bring a lot of solutions, different solutions, right? And that it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Definitely. So, as the boiler industry is evolving and ABMA is evolving, let's just look forward as an organization beyond. Where do you see the organization headed over the next few years?
So I think the 2 areas that we will be, the strongest focus will be around workforce initiative and then promoting the boiler industry. Workforce continues to be a challenge in our sector. Everybody has job openings, and we think that we can be a conduit for the industry to help them bring best practices to, what other people are doing, what's been successful, and also regional successes too. We're going to have a panel tomorrow, a leadership panel with 4 of our executives. And one of the points is going to be that banding together as manufacturers, you can sometimes actually make more of an impact and bring more people to the industry than trying to do it alone.
Well, very good. Well, again, thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And again, Boiler 2024 here in Denver, and a heads up that 2026 Nashville.
2026, the Gaylord Opryland in Nashville, and more details will be out about that. But we love the momentum of this show and learning from this show and keep growing bigger and better next time.
Great. Thank you for joining us, Scott.
Sure.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.